Each morning, meeting somebody who is doing just that, making a difference. Today, it's Nick. Nick loves running, but he's really going for it now. He is running a very long way. It's Nick Thorley. He's blind and he's taking on quite a challenge, as he's going to tell you now. Morning, Nick.
Morning, Sarah.
Hello. So, how far are you going to run?
I'm going to run 120 miles over 2 days. So I'm going to run 60 miles a day for 2 days.
60 miles? That's almost 3 marathons, isn't it? Am I right? Not far off.
Yeah. My maths isn't very good, especially this time of day. But yeah, so 60 miles. Yeah.
Oh, gosh. So how long have you been running?
I started running like 5 or 6 years ago, and just kind of once a week for a few months, and then I went through a really bad time in my life, and my marriage ended, and everything was awful, and then a friend of mine who'd been doing running like marathons and stuff for quite a long time, and ultra marathons. I chatted to him, and he was so confident. I said, one thing I've started to do is running, and I'm wondering if that would be something good to focus on. And I said, one day I'd like to do a marathon. And he said, you could do one this year if you wanted to. And I was like, quite joking. He was like, no, just all you need to do is run a bit further every week. And at that stage, the furthest I'd ever run was 4 miles.
Oh, my.
And he was saying, you could do a marathon in like 6 months. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah. And I did. So I did the Robin Hood Marathon that September. That was 2016. And then I did my first ultra marathon the following May. So yeah. So, and it's just become this massive part of my life. I just love it. It's been life-changing.
So inspiring for all of us. So you don't have your sight. So what challenges does that pose when you're running? I can't even imagine.
Yeah, so I was partially sighted when I was born, and then lost my sight in my teens and my 20s. So when I run, I do a lot of training I have a treadmill in my garage, so I do a lot of running on that. And then when I run with friends or like guides. There's like a national sort of find a guide website that I use a bit as well. So I run with a like 30 centimetre strap, so I hold one end and they hold the other. And I usually, especially for running sort of through streets and through the city, kind of tuck in and follow their elbow as well. But it's just a matter of them.
You run through Nottingham, even though you can't see. I'm just thinking of all the hazards there must be on the pavements and streets of Nottingham.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain bits that are easier than others, but yeah, I live just outside of Sherwood, and I run around here quite a lot in Carrington and down to the Forest Rack and up to Gadling Country Park and places like that. So yeah, you just the people I run with, I think after you've run with someone for a while, they sort of get to know how to guide you and you trust them. Yeah. So manage to avoid the lampposts.
Good. You talk about finding guides and that you can hook up with guides, which I guess is all very well if you're running 4 miles. But, if I volunteered to be a guide for somebody like you and I got the email, would you mind helping me out? We're doing 60 miles a day for 2 days. I think I'd say no, Nick.
Yeah. Well, I've got, so there are some friends I've got who run those sort of distances, and then others who are kind of into running like, I don't know, half marathons and things. So when I do this particular run, I think I've got 6 or 7 people who are running. So the shortest anyone's running is a kind of half marathon distance, so 13 miles, and the longest someone's running with me is 30. So but yeah, I've got friends who just run really short distances, and I just run with them, just go out for a 5-mile run or something. So yeah, it's all good.
And you get fresh legs, I suppose, then. You get fresh impetus and somebody new to chat to.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Nice.
I've done a few, over the years, especially doing like really long ones. Yeah, if you get someone along, it's kind of infectious, their enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Because obviously it can be tiring for the person who's guiding you as well.
I know you're doing all this for charity, and it's a worthy one. Do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah, sure. It's a charity called CORD, C-O-R-D, and I work as the fundraising manager for that charity. And we work to make peace a reality in places where people don't have the freedom to exercise their rights. So we work in countries in Southeast Asia like Laos, Myanmar, Cambodia, Vietnam. We also work in Burundi in Africa. And they're countries that have experienced civil war or social unrest. And we work to help to develop more trusting relationships. They're countries that experience poverty but often you can't really tackle poverty if there's instability, if there's conflict or the threat of violence. So our work is really long-term and involves bringing different parts of society together to help build those trusting relationships that will lay the foundation for a more stable society and the context where poverty can be tackled.
Well, really important work, and it's amazing what you're doing, Nick. Thank you very much for telling us about it.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
It's inspiring stuff. I'm managing every now and again to drag myself out for about 4 or 5K, so I need to up my game, having heard from you. It's not brilliant, Nick. It's not brilliant. It's stumbly and it's slow and it hurts. But I am inspired by you. Thank you, Nick. Nick Thorley on BBC Radio Nottingham, who is blind. He's running for a charity, Cord, and he is running 120 miles over 2 days.